working our way through these deformers. We're getting close to the end here, so let's go to flatten. So we choose the flatten deformer, just like the other deformer is going to give us a lot of cones. So if I hover over these, you're going to see we have an X, Y, and Z flatten from all different angles. And again, I can't stress this enough, these deformers are based on the orientation of our gizmo. I know if you've watched the previous videos, you've already seen this, but if you hit W, it's going to put you back into gizmo mode. And this mesh itself is just out there in space. So if your gizmo is just out here and oriented this way, if you want to go ahead and reset your deformers to kind of match this mesh, first let's go ahead and hold down Alt. We'll go to Unmasked Mesh Center. And if we do hold down Alt and go to Reset, that's going to go to the world axis orientation, but you're going to see that doesn't really line up with how this object is oriented. So first I'm going to hold down Alt and tap this back surface normal, and that's going to give us the direction of that face, which also matches the direction of the overall object. And now I can hold down Alt, go to Unmasked Mesh Center, and now we're right in the middle of this mesh. So now that we have that set up, we can go into the gear, we can go into Flatten. And now when you start pulling these cones here, it's going to flatten from the top, flatten from the side, flatten from the front. Now you're going to see when I go in, it's going to flatten in. If I go out, it's going to want to flatten that object straight out. So you can get a lot of really cool stuff going on, even just using this flatten here. Now just like a number of the other deformers here, you can also set symmetry here. So if I turn on symmetry, let's say we want symmetry in the x-axis. If we do 1, which is parallel, when we do x symmetry, it's going to do parallel symmetry, so it's going to push on this side and pull on that side. Usually what I'd want to do is mirrored symmetry. So let's go ahead and change that to 2, which is mirrored symmetry. So now when I pull into this side, it'll go ahead and flatten on both sides or force those out. Now you're going to see when I push these things in, what it's basically doing is taking all those vertices, just like if you're using the clip brush. And again, if you want more information on the clip brush, go watch my other videos in my ZBrush Intro to ZBrush series. But what it's doing is basically pushing all of those vertices along that surface. You're going to see we have one more option over here. If we turn on Slice Topology, right now by default it's set to no. If I turn that to 1, set to yes, what it's going to do is instead of just pushing those vertices there, it's going to go ahead and slice to give you a nice clean edge. So now when we're going through and pushing these things, see how much cleaner that edge is? This will allow you to go ahead and do a nice clean separation along this flattened plane. Of course, if you just want to push the vertices, change that from slice to no slice, and now you're going to see a little bit more aliasing along that edge as far as the geometry is going to go. So pick and choose whichever one you like. I don't really need to flatten any of this thing right now, so what I'm going to do is go back into my gear, hit delete, and now I'm back to my original object.